Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's a real honor and a great opportunity for our audience to have the chance to sit down with you and hear some information on the interworkings of NICE and where you're going. With respect to some of the major accomplishments of the organization in the past several months, in September of this year, you released the Value Assessment Framework. It has been noted that these changes reflect a step in the right direction in terms of engaging all stakeholders, particularly in the arena of health equity and looking at patient perspectives. How will you measure the success of this framework? And have you engaged in a public opportunity for comment?
Yeah. So, firstly, to say, whenever NICE introduces new methods or process, we have a quite extensive public engagement opportunity, which is what we call consultation in this country. So that happens every time we change anything, and this was no different. I think what was slightly different in terms of public engagement on this is, particularly with our method, it's really important that they reflect what society values. So in addition to the usual consultation, when we change methods that are reflecting what society values, we do quite a deep piece of listening, deliberative work with the society we serve, which is in England, to understand whether they think the decisions that we are making or the weight that we're giving to certain things is reflective of what they value. So that work already kind of took place before the new methods were put in place, this deliberative public engagement. And then once we had got the methods described, then there was an opportunity for public engagement with all stakeholders to comment on the whether they were happy with the methods and they were updated in response to that. So that's first question. Do you want me to go on to the second one, which is how are we evaluating these methods? Yeah. So what we learned from the deliberative public engagement is that people do value the concept of severity, that they do think it is worth taxpayers, because we're a taxpayer-funded system, paying more for a disease that significantly shortens length or quality of life. So one of the big changes in our methods was using a severity modifier. So what we do with all our methods changes is we track both qualitative and quantitative data after their implementation. We published in February. The first top medicine went through in October last year. And so we're about, what does that make us? About 9 months in. In that time, we've seen about 43 medicines. Of those, about 8 applied for severity, some severity weighting. And of those 8, 5 were accepted. So we've got the kind of quantitative data. We also looked at increasing or kind of the safe use of real world evidence in our appraisals. And so of the 43 that have gone through, almost half, about 19, have used real world evidence. And in 8, it was the primary evidence source, actually. And then the third part, so we had severity, real world evidence, and then we had also additional flexibilities. There, we've had additional flexibilities applied in about 18% of cases as well, around issues such as health inequalities, difficulties with evidence generation, uncaptured benefits, unmet need, those kind of issues.
Are you finding that when you reach out for public comment, particularly with patients, are they different in their ability to engage in this process in today versus several years ago?
Yeah, that's a great question. So as I said, there's these 2 levels of public engagement. There's a consultation, which we do that very much how we used to do that pre-pandemic. When we do this kind of deep public engagement to understand society's values and whether our methods reflect that obviously post-pandemic has completely changed the way we do things. We're able to do things in the evening now, online. We are finding that it's easier to reach hard to reach groups, so we really optimize around that with our the way we design that research project, the way we deliver it. So in some ways, the technological innovation of the pandemic is making it easier for us to reach the people that actually represent the society we serve.